Hi teachers, welcome to Values Ed Majorship Enhancement Drills Set 7. And this is from the actual board exam, actual let questions. So you can download the PDF format of this set. So you can print it if you wish. However, if you want to save some papers, well, you can just do it online. The questions are available online. Now, to optimize the benefit of this drill, I highly encourage you to answer first the questions in this set. After you finish answering the questions, come back here and check your answers and understand the rationale. The rationalizations are provided so that you may enhance your understanding of each item. Okay, if you have not yet answered the questions, you may pause this video and come back here later. Okay, sanay ako maghintay. Okay, I suppose you are already done. So, let's begin. By the way, these are some observations. Of course, our goal is to top the board exam. So these are some observations in this set. So there are more than 32 items repeated in this set. And if you are really sure about your answers in these 32 items, so lucky you. Imagine you already have 64 correct answers. So it happens. It's normal. It really happens in the actual board exam. I just don't know if it will happen in your case. So there are several typo errors and there are grammatical errors also. So that's normal. So just make sense of the questions. I did not change them intentionally so that you may see how they look like, so that just in case you see them in the actual board exam, so you know that it has been answered already in this set and you have seen those questions already in this exercise or drills. Okie dokie. So let's proceed. Let's begin. So this is part 1 of set 7. Number 1. Your friend who is working on her thesis for a master's degree would like to use your class for a pilot study. What will you tell her to do? Letter A. Tell her to write a request for her study. Letter B. Look for another school where she can conduct her study. Letter C. Take over the class so she can be relieved. And letter D. Go on with the study without asking permission from the principal. And your answer should be letter A. You know, research involving students requires proper permission from school authorities to protect ethical standards. So writing a formal request ensures that the study is authorized, ethical, and follows institutional protocols. Halimbawa, yung mga informed consent, confidentiality, privacy, rights of the participants or the respondents, etc. So we follow ethical considerations. Yung letter B, look for another school where she can conduct her study. So avoiding the school does not solve the issue of needing permission. Yung letter C naman, this is unprofessional and unauthorized. Yung letter D naman, conducting research without permission violates ethical and legal guidelines, diba? So number 1 is letter A. Number 2, what is the consequence of any violation of the code of ethics? Letter A. You may be considered unprofessional and dishonorable, and thus will be subject to provision of the law. Letter B. You will be suspended by school officials. Letter C. You may be transferred to other stations without his consent. And letter D. You may be subjected to seminars and re-schooling. Your answer should be? Yep, in the previous set, we answered letter A because the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers establishes professional conduct. So violations may result in disciplinary actions, legal consequences, or revocation of teaching license as per RA 7836, yung ating Professionalization of Teaching Act. Yung letter B, you will be suspended by school official. Well, actually ito yung siguro yung sagot mo, no? This is a very good distractor here. Well, suspension is just one possible consequence, but not the only one. So later na yung suspension. So first and foremost, yung reputation ng mga apektuhan. So you'll be considered unprofessional. So later na yung suspension kasi hindi lahat ng violations of the Code of Ethics suspension kaagad. So kailangan mo na ng proper investigation. So Letter C naman, you may be transferred to another station without consent. So transfers are not disciplinary actions. Ethical violations require legal proceedings. Kailangan niya na maimbestigahan with proper proceedings, or tawag doon, yung para mapanagot kung talag may pananagutan. Yung letter D naman, you may be subjected to seminars and reschooling. By the way, ethics violations require serious consequences, not just training, because trainings are not, seminars are not punishments supposed to be. So number 2 is letter A. Number 3, what is included in the teacher's scope of civic participation? Letter A, the school and the church. Letter B, the entire community. Letter C, the municipal building. And letter D, the plaza and the market. And your answer should be letter B, the entire community. So teachers are role models beyond the school grounds, and we have responsibilities in the broader community. Active civic engagement includes participation in social, environmental, and educational programs. Yung letter A, school and the church, so it limits participation to only 2 areas. Yung letter C naman, the municipal building, a location rather than a broad civic scope. So hindi yung location ang pinag-uusapan natin. Yung letter D, plaza and the market, so civic engagement extends beyond these places. So number 3 is letter B. Number 4, based on the scope and limitation of the teacher's code of ethics, who is considered a teacher? Letter A, any person with a bachelor's degree in college. Letter B, any person directly engaged in teaching in public and private schools. Letter C, any person teaching in private college. And letter D, any person with necessary skills to teach. Your answer should be letter B. The Code of Ethics for professional teachers applies to all teachers actively engaged in the profession, whether in public or private institutions. Right? So, yung letter A, having a degree does not automatically make someone a teacher. So, hindi ganon. Yung letter C naman, the code applies to all school levels, not just private colleges. At yung letter D, licensure and qualifications are required, not just skills. Okay, number 4 is letter B. Number 5, what is the first quality that will make a teacher or a school official socially acceptable? Letter A, he is morally upright. Letter B, he has a business establishment. Letter C, he drinks little and gambles a little. And letter D, he is genius and a scholar. Your answer should be letter A. He is morally upright. So moral integrity is the foundation of professional ethics, especially in teaching. So a teacher must serve as a role model for students and the entire community where we work or where we belong. Yung letter B, he has a business establishment. Well, business success does not determine moral character. Yung letter C naman, he drinks little and gambles a little. Umiinom ng konti at nagsusugal ng konti. So this implies engaging in unethical behaviors even in moderation. So we don't tolerate that, kahit moderation lang yan. So letter D, well, intellectual ability is secondary to moral values in education. Kasi maraming genius at scholar pero hindi naman, walang integridad. So marami tayo niyan sa politics, sa ating gobyerno. Ang daming matatalino, magagaling din magnakaw. Number 5 is letter A. Number 6, what is the official authoritative source of the Code of Ethics for professional teacher? Letter A, RA 7722. Letter B, RA 7784. Letter C, RA 7836. And letter D, Constitution. Your answer should be letter C. This should be so basic for you already. So Republic Act 7836 is the Professionalization of Teaching Act, which governs the Code of Ethics for teachers in the Philippines. Yung letter A refers to Higher Education Act, not Teachers Ethics. Yung letter B refers to the establishment of centers for excellence, yung creating a teacher education council. At yung letter D naman, the Philippine the Constitution sets general principles, but RA 7836 is specific for teachers. So number 6 is letter C. Number 7, choose the items that can help sustain in the teaching career. So isa ito sa mga sinasabi natin ng mga sometimes awkward and nonsense question. Choose the items that can help sustain in the teaching career. Ano daw? Number 1, continuing professional growth. Number 2, competing with other professional teachers. Number 3, reflecting on the positive aspects of teaching as a career. And number 4, joining a group of professional teachers whose enthusiasm for teaching is waning. Options: letter A, 1 and 2, letter B, 1, 2, 3, letter C, 1 and 2, and letter D, 1, 2, and 4. So, ang tamang sagot dito ay letter B. So, if you make sense of the the options, 1, 2, and 3, kasi lahat sila positive, yung isa lang yung negative. Diba? Ano daw yung ibig sabihin ng question na ito? Well, if you think about it, so continuing professional growth ensures skills and knowledge remain up to date. We remain updated. So healthy competition with colleagues fosters motivation, and reflecting on the opposite aspects of teaching career keeps us, the teachers, inspired. Yung number 4, joining a group whose enthusiasm for teaching is waning, it lowers motivation and it should be avoided. Kaya yun lang din natin sinama. So 1, 2, and 3, that's number 7, letter B. Number 8, you have a good chance. What is that? You have a good chance to attend a seminar about. It should be you have a good chance about innovations, techniques in teaching reading. You would like to share your knowledge and experiences with your co-teachers. How would you go about it? Letter A, write the teachers to observe your reading class. Letter B, call the teachers to meeting and give a lecture on the topic. Letter C, consult the principal about your plan. And letter D, wait for the teachers to tell you to do so. So number 8, ang tamang sagot ay letter C. Kasi consulting the principal ensures administrative support and proper dissemination of whatever you have, your knowledge. So a school-wide initiative is more effective than informal sharing. Kaya kailangan natin ng support mula sa itaas, di ba? Back up. Letter A, writing to teachers to observe your reading class. This has a limited impact, and it does not formally share knowledge. Kasi observation lang. Yung letter B naman, it requires approval from school leadership. Support din galing sa taas. At yung letter D naman, kailangan maging proactive, no? Kasi ang proactive sharing is better than waiting. Mag-iintay ka hanggang matapos yung school year. So number 8 is letter C. Number 9, due to financial or administrative constraints, schools are forced to open large classes, giving rise to school problems such as cutting classes and so on. So how can this problem be remedied? Letter A, administrative actions. Letter B, seminars and workshops. Letter C, counseling sessions. And letter D, legal procedures. Your answer should be letter A, administrative actions. Administrative actions, such as hiring more teachers, reducing class sizes, or improving facilities, directly address the root cause of large classes. Yung letter B, seminars and workshops are helpful, but they do not solve overcrowding. Yung letter C naman, counseling sessions may help the students but do not address the systematic issue. At yung letter D, legal procedures, they are not necessarily need. So unless mayroong rights violations na nangyayari sa school, legal procedures. So number 9 is letter A. Number 10, what value did Typhoon Yolanda convey, which resulted to great opportunity for community service? Letter A, the true caring spirit will surface in the situation. Letter B, it does not happen very often. Letter C, it is better than giving money. And letter D, the contributions and donations are sure to come. What's your answer, teacher? right? The answer should be letter A. The true caring spirit will surface in the situation. Disasters, like Typhoon Yolanda. Marami pang typhoon sa atin. Diyos me, tayo pa kaya. The disasters inspire solidarity, compassion, and communal assistance na nagpapakita ng true caring spirit nating mga Pinoy. So, that's letter A. Yung letter B does not happen very often. This does not highlight values, just frequency. Yung letter C naman, community service is not about comparison. At yung letter D focuses on external aid rather than inner moral responsibility. So number 10 is letter A. Number 11, where does value formation come in? Wherein it can efficiently manage all community levels. Letter A, initiate programs or projects specific to values formation. Letter B, helping and getting involved in barangay activities. Letter C, networking with all sectors of the community. And letter D, supporting people's organization, which stresses value formation. Your answer should be letter C. Networking with all sectors of the community. Kasi values formation is most effective when all sectors of the community are involved. Katulad ng school, mga business establishments, religious organizations, government. Kasi it takes the entire community to raise a child. So, networking allows for shared responsibilities, cooperation, yung sustainable programs na pwedeng makonduct ng community ng may coordination ang bawat area, bawat group sa community. So, that promote values. Yung letter A, initiate programs or projects specific to values formation. So, this is a good step, but it focuses on specific initiatives rather than holistic community engagement. Yung letter B naman is important but limited to the barangay level rather than managing all community levels. At yung letters D, this is supportive role. This is a supportive role but it does not encompass broader engagement like networking. So number 11 is letter C. Number 12, under what phase of the experiential learning process of the ACES approach do practicum and outreach activities fall? Letter A, activity. Letter B, application. Letter C, analysis. And letter D, abstraction. Number 12, ang tamang sagot mo dapat dito ay letter B, application. The action phase of ACES approach is the practical application where the learners are expected to transfer their affective and cognitive learning into actual situations. So, this could be the development of an action plan or assignments for internalizing the concepts that they learn, or an extended learning activity in the house or in their home where they can be asked, to discuss value issues taken up in the classroom with other members of the family. Halimbawa, discussion sa bahay ng kanilang parents or mga kapatid or mga pinsan, mga lola, ganyan. Buti sa atin, ang daming kasambahay, no? So, that could happen in their homes. Part of the application. So, yung option A, activity. Activity is the learning trigger phase. Yung simula ito. It includes structured learning experiences na nagfa-facilitate ng cognitive and affective learning. So, learning is triggered by a carefully planned activity sa classroom. Halimbawa, yung disclosure, self-inventory, group discussion, case study, listening to vignettes, role-playing, song analysis, panel discussion, moral dilemma, and so on. So, these are parts of activity. Yung analysis, letter C, is the value clarification phase, and it involves a more in-depth processing of insights and feelings of learners. So, analysis of the learning has two phases. So, mayroon dalawang phases yung analysis, yung affective and the cognitive. Yung affective processing involves personal reflections and insights which become part of the learner's affective development, Samantalang yung cognitive analysis naman ay ginagawa sa pamamagitan ng pag-elicit, pagkuha ng mga information at pag-aaral ng laman or content at concepts na related or relevant sa lesson. So those are the two parts of analysis, cognitive and affective processing. Yung abstraction, yung letter D, abstraction is the inculcation or directive phase. So it involves halimbawa reinforcement of the student's construct system. Yung mga alam na ng estudyante ini-reinforce para ma-confirm nila na tama yung alam nila through an abstraction or generalizations and inferences. So sa phase na ito, sa abstraction, the facilitator or the teacher enriches the learning which was processed in the analysis phase through cognitive and affective inputs. Halimbawa, may lecturate na that the facilitator may share with the students. So the teacher also reinforces the decisions made by the students which they think are universally acceptable. So yun ang purpose ng abstraction. Okay, so ang sagot natin sa number 12 ay application. Kasi ang hinahanap natin ay experiential learning na. Yung especially sa practicum and outreach activities. Okay, so number 12 is letter B. Number 13, this should be the focus of school counseling. Letter A, improvement of total personality. Letter B, attainment of desired goals. Letter C, improvement of decision-making skills. And letter D, development of potential. Your answer should be letter A, improvement of total personality. School counseling aims at holistic development, addressing academic, social, emotional, and career growth that develop total personality of the person, of our students, as per Carl Rogers' person-centered approach. So yung letter A, attainment of desired goals. So while this is important, it is just one aspect of personality development. Letter B, attainment of desired goals. Yung letter C naman, improvement of decision-making skills. This is a specific component but not the overall focus. Samantalang yung letter D, development of potential. This is important but it does not encompass emotional and social development. Okay? So number 13 ay letter A. Number 14, the counseling process where decision-making takes place. Letter A, focusing concerns. Letter B, acting on concerns. Letter C, termination. And letter D, establishing rapport. Your answer should be letter B. Taking actions, andun na sa acting on concerns. Letter B, sa pagkilos na. So, in Rogerian counseling, the decision-making process happens in acting on concerns. So, where students take action on their insights. Yung letter A, focusing on concerns, this step involves identifying issues before decision-making. Yung termination naman is the final stage of counseling, not where decisions are made. Samantalang yung letter D, establishing rapport, this is an initial stage. Sa simula ito, to build trust and not decision-making. Okay? So, number 14 ay letter B, acting on concerns. Number 15, in the values education, what is the role of the teacher in the valuing process? Letter A, judge of all ideas that are shared by students. Letter B, model of all values being taught. Letter C, expert on right and wrong values. And letter D, source of enrichment and a guide to the learner's discernment experience. Your answer should be letter D. Kasi teachers facilitate the valuing process by guiding students na magnilay-nilay, mag-reflect, and gumawa ng mga ethical na desisyon. Rather than imposing values, we don't impose values. We can just recommend. So, Paulo Freire's dialogic teaching supports this approach. Yung facilitation. Yung letter A, judge of all ideas that are shared by students. So, the teacher should not impose judgments but encourage this discussion. Yung letter B naman, model of all values being taught. So while teachers should model values, their role extends beyond this. At yung letter C, expert on the right and wrong values. So teaching values is about guiding reflection, not dictating morality. So number 15 ay letter D. Number 16. In values education, what is the role of the teacher in the valuing process? Letter A, judgeable ideas that are shared by students. Letter B, model of all values being taught. Letter C, expert on right and wrong values. And letter D, source of enrichment and guide to the learner's discernment enrichment. So the answer should be letter, same question as item number 15. So 16 is letter D. Number 17, which of the following activities may be undertaken by a classroom teacher to ensure quality involvement of parents in the school guidance program? Letter A, monthly meeting with parents. Letter B, continuing parent education program. Letter C, fundraising projects. Letter D, frequent visits to the guidance office. At ang tamang sagot ay letter B. Parental education equips parents to better support their children's development na nagpapalakas ng collaboration ng tahanan at ng school. Yung homeschool collaboration is strengthened by this continuing parent education program. Yung letter A, monthly meeting with parents. Well, meetings provide updates but do not educate parents. Yung letter C naman, fundraising projects help the school financially, but they do not ensure parental involvement in guidance. Yung letter D naman, frequent visits to the guidance office is not all parents visit the school, and it does not engage all parents equally. So number 17, letter B. Number 18. As to what is good to do, evil to avoid, many times we know. The problem is, we do not always do the good and avoid the evil we know. Which must be the greater concern of values education, considering the first two sentences. So, letter A, taming the emotions. Letter B, enriching the imagination. Letter C, enlightening the intellect in what is good. And letter D, strengthening the will to do good. Your correct answer should be letter D. While knowledge is good, knowledge of good is important, so the real challenge is developing the willpower to act upon it. Diba? As per Aristotle's virtue ethics and Kohlberg's moral development theory. Yung letter A, taming the emotions. Emotions influence moral decisions, but they are secondary to strengthening the will. Yung enriching the imagination naman, creativity is important, it's valuable, but moral action requires strong willpower. Hindi lang imagination. Yung letter C naman, enlightening the intellect in what is good. So, knowing what is right does not guarantee moral action. Kasi magkaiba yung knowing tsaka doing. So, number 18 ay letter D. Number 19, among the following guidance activities which falls under the career guidance. Letter A, study groups. Letter B, placement. Letter C, peer counseling. Letter D, aptitude testing. Your answer should be placement. So 19 is letter B. Kung mayroon tayong maling sagot sa previous sets, itama natin dito. Number 19, ang tamang sagot ay letter B, placement. Kasi placement services help students find suitable educational or job opportunities align with their skills and interests. So yung study groups this is related to academic support, not career guidance. Peer counseling focuses on emotional or social concerns, not career planning. At yung letter D naman, aptitude testing helps assess skills, but it does not actively place students in careers or educational programs. So, I provided an expanded discussion of this item in set 6 of our drills. So, you can go back to that set 6, or if you remember, so I provided expanded discussion of this, number 19, this item. So, 19 is B. Number 20. What instruction is pre-planned, pre-sequenced, and directed towards a specific learning objectives? Letter A, program instruction. Letter B, non-formal instruction. Letter C, learning sequence. And letter D, alternative instruction. Your answer should be letter A. B.F. Skinner's program learning theory emphasizes structured sequential instruction where learners progress at their own pace, usually with feedback loops, or reinforcement from the teacher. Yung non-formal instruction, it occurs outside formal settings but it lacks structured sequencing. Yung letter C naman, learning sequences, it's a general term for any order of learning steps, not necessarily pre-planned. Yung letter D naman, alternative instruction, refers to non-traditional methods, not the structured instruction. So number 20 is letter A. And that's part 1 of set 7 of our Values Ed Majorship Enhancement Drills. Let's continue in the next video.